to another episode of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We are interviewing and following the journey of amazing entrepreneurs, one digital footprint at a time. See how I memorized all that stuff?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, right?
It's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words. Angelia, Dimattia. Now that's a lot of words. Mouthful if you're not
syllables, yeah.
with a South American or Italian background as we Latins have.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm just relieved to be sitting for a moment. I feel like I've just been going a million miles an hour.
And that's because you are diverse business services and you do like a million things.
We do.
What do you do?
Well, we specialize in startups, but also we deal with established businesses, growing businesses, and what our firm does is we provide everything that a business needs to operate. All the gears that are laying all over the place, we bring them all together and make them all work together, from IT and networking to controller and tax services, payroll, financial management, legal expertise as far as corporate decision making, like do you want to be an LLC, do you want to be an S or a C Corp, and it's all in-house. Everybody's already licensed, bonded, insured. They've been in business for a while, so what it does is it takes the anxiety away from the business owner of having to outsource all of those different aspects of running a business, and it's all in one place.
Instead of calling an accountant over here, a bookkeeper over there, an attorney over here, a financial landlord, whatever it is, all over the place, then I just call you and then you do the rest.
And we do the rest. And a lot of the really important stuff that we do has to do with human resources and hiring the right people, and even what we talked about earlier today, templating and getting their forms, ready to be fillable and online and produced for their clientele, to just make it a simple and transitional process. And we usually do it as a retainer basis. Oftentimes it's a quarterly or half year, but usually you can't do all that in 1 month. And often what happens also is I end up bonding for life with these people. They don't want to let me go. They want to hold on and have me kind of oversee everything that's going on, do the reporting, and that's really not the objective. The objective is to kind of hold their hand at the beginning and get them going, and then let them do their thing.
How affordable is it? I mean, do you have different plans for different size companies, or is it one price? Kind of buffet style?
That's a great question, and it used to make me feel really uncomfortable because I never had a good answer for that, but I finally have found one.
See, there you go, boom. Did you find it like just right now? That's
no,
probably what happened,
I found it.
Because you're all intimidated and stuff with this interview, first time interview, boom, you're like, okay, I gotta have an answer now.
No, actually it made me uncomfortable because until I know your business, I don't know what you need. I don't know how much of my time you're gonna need. I don't know how much of my staff you're gonna need. Every person is an individual. Every company I like to look at as an individual, as it's very unique entity. And so I don't have a set price for anyone. Okay. It's based on, the retainer is based on how long are you going to have me. Obviously, if you're going to have me for 6 months to a year and commit to me and let me get your business growing, then I'm going to give you a discounted rate, because all of my work is front loaded. The very beginning is when I'm working for pennies, and at the end, when all the wheels are turning together wonderfully, then it's doing itself. So I'm making a little bit more money on the back end.
You are a business for business. If that makes any sense at all, because all I have to worry about with you is I've got to worry about just marketing and selling.
You don't even have to worry about that. Marketing is one of the things that we provide, from web design to social media to web marketing. We do a lot of advertising and actually what's so fabulous about this, and I love that you bring it up, is as my network grows, so does it's not a pyramid scheme by any means, but if I'm providing marketing for this entity and I can get them a discount because I'm also doing web marketing for all of these other people, so they automatically become part of my network. So every single person has at their fingertips all of the clients that I have,
Yeah, of course.
because they're all, doing everything together. So they start to see if I'm marketing on the web, on Pinterest, for example. If you've been on Pinterest, you see all the ads that'll come up. So if I'm marketing there, my client could get piggyback on the other clients that I have and just say,
it's incredibly synergistic.
Snowballing.
It's just a great concept.
Yeah.
So you've had this business since 1990.
I started out in 1990, and it's just added and grown, and the legs have, people would say, well, do you do this? And I'd say, no, but I can, or I have someone who does.
Of course I can.
Yeah, so, and if I don't have an answer, my response would be, let me find out for you.
Sure.
I have an expert that knows. I'd rather say I don't know than give somebody information that's gonna harm them. So.
And that honesty people appreciate. What did you do before that?
I worked for Intuit. Intuit is QuickBooks.
Sure.
And so,
so you're an expert in QuickBooks. And
I am. I'm what they call a pro advisor, la-di-da.
Wow.
But what happened is I was still in college. I went to Fresno State, and I started my own little business called Guardian Angel Childproofing. And what I did was I'd go into these rich people's homes, and that's a sharp corner, and oh, you need a stopper on that gas stove, and I would tell them, I'd give them a safety cert after my little guy that I hired to Makita everything in, and it grew so fast, and I didn't know what I was doing, that I needed help. And so I started with QuickBooks, and they ended up hiring me, and I had like an NDA, non-disclosure thing, that when I was doing the seminars for them, and everybody would want me to come to their business, and I wasn't allowed to. So once my contract was up, I left, and I started out just with the financial management, and then it's just grown and grown and grown.
Amazing. What is, in this journey that you've had as an entrepreneur, what has been your biggest challenge?
Oh, I'm sorry. My biggest challenge, well, this is going to sound sort of narcissistic, and I don't mean it to. My biggest challenge is I need a clone. I need somebody to
clone yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we laugh because Taylor and I, we've been talking about that. In fact, we were having a seminar called Clone Yourself.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen the movie Multiplicity?
Absolutely.
I love it. With Michael Keaton, and
Yes,
he makes
yes,
copies of a copy of a copy. Well,
that's what you mean.
When I don't get the rest I need, or I'm not able to give a client the time that I want to because I'm so overwhelmed, I feel like the copy of the copy of the copy.
But let me ask you this: is that symptomatic of perhaps wanting to be in control all the time, or the fact that there is a need for you to hire somebody like you?
Yeah.
It's never going to be you, but it's going to be somebody like you that you can train, mentor, and perhaps have some kind of succession plan.
Well, I think it's more not so much control, it's more the desire to please everyone. I want to make everybody like just thrilled, and it's hard. There is only one me, and when I go out and I sell a client or whatever, they don't want me to send one of my staff members for the next meeting. They always want it to be me. Well, when you have 84 clients in 7 countries, you can't be everywhere at the same time.
But that's the paradox, though.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, in order for you to grow to the next level and become really constellational, then I like that word, constellational.
Yeah. I think that's, do you remember Sniglets, with the words that we make up that should be words?
I don't know, I just make up stuff. I go, oh, what do I know?
I like it as well.
Constellational. Well,
Yeah.
if you go huge, constellational, then at some point, I mean, you can be at all places at all times.
Yeah.
But you will find in a very strong management structure that perhaps you can have people that you can trust, and more importantly, your clients will feel trained to know that.
Right. I also think
hard to look.
it's an important factor for me too, that I love what I do. When you do what you love, you're successful. It doesn't matter if it's basket weaving or peeling apples. If you love it, you're going to be great at it. And
I took basket weaving in college. That was my last year in college. I took basket weaving.
Did you really? Are you pulling my leg?
I took basket weaving, but I dropped it like in the second day because I felt too guilty.
You know what I always tell my children? I have 4 boys. I told my kids, you're making fun of me, aren't you?
No, you're fine.
I'm falling for it. What? why is he doing this to me? I tell my kids the basket weaving thing. I don't care what it is you do, but do it with all your heart and love what you do, or do something else. If you don't like it, that's okay.
And here's what I love about you is because you have passion for this thing. If you didn't have the passion that you have, I mean, you would have never grown to the point where you are right now.
Yeah.
And continuing in this journey, it's passion gets you so far,
right.
But at some point you have to share that passion with others so that others kind of emulate. There's another word.
He's feeling very good about his vocabulary.
My goodness,
today.
I woke up very erudite this morning.
Another one.
I'm just messing with you now, man. I could just go on and on all day. But at some point, you will have to multiply yourself, right?
Right.
And that's what's hard about being an entrepreneur,
right?
Particularly in the success that you've achieved. And so, what is the best advice that you're going to give yourself today?
Myself?
Yes.
Stop and breathe. Stop and smell the flowers. Enjoy the beauty of the world, because I have to cut myself some slack that I can't do everything. And you touched on an important point. I do have to allow the people that work for me to be successful too, and not, I don't so much micromanage as I want them to do things with the same fervor and passion that I do. And I can't expect that because everybody's different, and the great thing about my role is I get to meet so many people and discover so many fabulous enterprises, and so that's exciting to me. But a 24-year-old intern from Fullerton College, she's looking at me like, what is wrong with this crazy lady? They're just numbers, ma'am.
And that's the difference.
More than that.
But that is the difference between you and that 24-year-old from Fresno State.
Yeah.
Fervor. That's another word.
Yeah.
There you go. You have fervor and passion.
I do, and I want, there's nothing more rewarding than taking either a company that's failing and, getting the ship off the rocks and watching them succeed at the level that they want to, and then them thanking me. And it's not really me. I have a great network. I have great people that work with me, and you also had asked me, or maybe it was in an email or something, about an influence.
Sure.
That I had. And one of them was when I was in high school. I know at some point all of us probably wanted to or attempted to work at a grocery store. I worked at Joe Albertson's. Now I think it's just Albertsons. Yeah. But Joe Albertson was a real person. And he used to talk about how you and what you do as an enterprise is only as valuable and as good as the lowest common denominator. So if you were the store director, you weren't any better than your courtesy clerk that was bagging groceries. And so when I hire someone or I'm talking to my staff, I love to tell them, there's no you're working for me. We are all working together. And that's why I do profit sharing, because if I do well, they do well. So then they want to do well.
I want to work for you. With fervor.
With fervor?
And with that, you're going to have to come back and tell us a little bit more about your journey in the future.
I would love to.
With that, watch this. We're out.